Hello, girls. Today we are starting a practical session together. I have washed my face, my hands are clean, and I still have an infection, so I have tissues with me. I remind you once again not to forget to always have them with you. Let's begin by warming up the chest muscles a little. We take our fists, grab these parts, our bones, and start with warming up movements, using both hands or one, pressing actively into the bony structures to create a somewhat uncomfortable sensation. It shouldn't be pleasant because we are working with muscle structures. We work on this area right here in the middle and massage it well. We can use one hand or both, going right into the area under the armpit. Now we take our fingers, the pads of our fingers, place them in the middle, and push, pressing down. On the rib cage and moving the tissues, all the structures towards the armpit, just like this, because the lymph flows there. And it's very important that we work on these areas too, to activate them so that our muscles wake up and start working on the nose, making it beautiful and youthful. And in the other direction, you can perform all the movements and arrange them in a way that is convenient for you. You don't necessarily have to do the entire set of exercises every day. If you feel like it, you can always reach out to perhaps massage this area while you are watching television. It is not necessary to do this specifically in the morning or to focus on just one part. You can do it throughout the day, for example, at work or while you are driving in the car. I will tell you more about this and show you further. Next, we move to the clavicle. We place one finger under the clavicle and the other above it, right inside. Well, here we also drain the lymph, and with pressing movements we work it out effectively, slightly. Our clavicle activates the lymph. We need to free the sympathetic nodes so that there is something to drain from the face, allowing it to drain and preventing swelling on the face. Another part. A lot of neck muscles will also be absorbed around the clavicle. It is important to thoroughly massage and work on this area. There may be some unpleasant pain sensations here. Focus on this sensation, stop and try to just feel it, pressing into this area even more. Next, we move to our neck. We engage the sternocleidomastoid muscles. They are located right here. We engage one side, tilting the head to this part to ensure that the muscle is relaxed. And in this way, with very slow and gentle movements for now, we are awakening it. We gently awaken it with some more circular movements like this. Yes, I gently massage it. Here I pass right under the corner of the face where the ear is, and then I go down, also on the other side. We are awakening it for now. Now we will continue to stretch all the muscles that are located on our face. We can catch and stretch them to restore their natural length and elasticity. The skin does not stretch from such techniques. Beyond its natural length, it is simply logically impossible, just like the muscles. Muscles return to their natural state much faster than the skin. So give it a little time for everything to activate, and you will definitely see quick results. Now, we will roll this little sausage around to warm up the skin a bit. I pick up the skin structures. You can use both hands so that it doesn't take too much of your time. We just knead it like this. Knead it. These rings of the veneer that we have on the neck are also an anatomical physiology that everyone has. Even babies are born with this. What can we do? We can soften it so that it is less noticeable. Yes, you may feel what is under your skin, the structures. And you might feel more subcutaneous fat in some areas. Under the subcutaneous fat, inside or less, what is located, and just go along these lines, these points, and actively massage well, and the other side. You can also perform this technique not just in the morning, but also while you are watching television, or even when you have a free minute to do something nice and relaxing for yourself. We warm up well. You can use both hands or just one. My hands are down. I am not shrugging my shoulders. Please pay attention to your posture so that your shoulders are even. We also do not make such movements. Your hands will get tired quickly. That's why my hands are positioned as low as possible. The elbow is pressed against my body, and I am working, giving a massage. Now what can we do? We can capture the rolling sausage. We only work on the sides. Our thyroid is located here. I'll show you right away. We don't work in this area, but we can work on what is above. Some pressing techniques make certain adjustments. In this area, we can sit. I'm showing. No. If it's not possible, there is a small curtain here. Let's not disturb it or do anything with it. We can work on the sides, so I pick up this sausage-like shape and roll it upwards. You may not succeed at everything on the first try, but those who take action will always achieve their goals. So don't be afraid, don't hesitate, and try to feel as much as you can. Let's move on to another part. I also pick up and work on it. We move upwards. I can do this with one hand since I am already used to it, but I advise you to work with both hands. And this is how I use my fingers to push with my thumbs. They push all the subcutaneous structures upwards. I use the other 4 fingers to help, like I'm sifting through. Great. Now let's return to our sternocleidomastoid muscles. What I'm doing now is that we have activated and awakened them, and now I'm trying to stretch them a little to the side. I catch them with my finger, trying to feel, and I lower my ear. And in this way, I gently pull back. You can close your eyes and focus on what is happening there, what you are feeling. Thus, with gentle pulling movements, I stretch the side. Wonderful. Let's move on to another part in this section. Let's pick it up now. Here it is. We catch it, close our eyes, we don't wrinkle our forehead, we don't raise our eyebrows, and we don't use other muscles to help. Try to relax. Your breathing is free. And focused on what is happening there. Can I pick it up or not? I can't do it, but we are trying, and you will definitely succeed. I also couldn't do a lot of exercises related to the face at one time. Now we are stretching the side a little bit. We are stretching it a bit. Super. Wonderful. Now let's move on to our facial oval. Let's release some lymph. Here, such lymphatic cases are located at the angle of the lower jaw. We place our fingertip pads there. Yes, I just noticed that the nails should definitely be trimmed. They should be long because you won't be able to perform such a facial massage. Your nails will still get in the way. But if there is, try to adapt to it in some way and work. I activate the pads of my fingers, tilt my head to the side, and gently try to do a little pumping in the corner, releasing everything that has accumulated in our lymph. Then I turn to the other side. Look, we gently and carefully activate the fingers there. We work on the lymphatic casings. All right then, now let's move on to our oval of the lower jaw. I make such a pinch. I place my thumbs under the facial area of the oval of the face. I place my upper fingers on top and make slow abduction movements. It is very important that you perform all techniques as precisely and slowly as possible. We do not care about speed. We do not care about a large amplitude in performing any massage technique. What matters to us is the precise local work on this area. We also remember that we are simply pressing these structures and moving them to the side, just like that. You can gently tilt your head down, relax slowly and fully, close your eyes and exhale deeply. One more time and exhale. You can simply run your fingers along the lower oval of the lower jaw. Like this, you can run and massage. You can do two at once. I tilt my head slightly forward to create more space for my fingers to go inside while closing my eyes. And we definitely work on it. You can actually also do it this way. I place two fingers and work on it. I also apply good pressure. I am actively working on it. I don't do this too lightly. It's definitely active enough for us to reach all our muscles and structures. Great! Wonderful! Let's move on to the chin. I grab the chin. I drew it for you, right? There are two bellies like this here. I grab it and simply just knead it a bit more. I find it this way. I knead it some more again. We awaken and also activate the chin. In fact, the chin actually carries a lot of tension in the face. And often because we psychologically clench our jaw, lip muscles, and chewing muscles, our chin is always in a state of tension, and often it is very painful. We press on it well indeed in this way. You can gently place your fingers on your chin using the belly of your fingers and press down well. If it hurts a lot, close your eyes and breathe through the pain, release it from yourself, don't tense up, pay attention to your posture, and try to let go of everything that has accumulated in your face, all the tension. Great, let's move on to our lips. Now I will show you. We will grab the G lips and make outward movements. You kind of pull the lips away from the face, and at the same time I squeeze my fingers as much as possible and manage to make circular rolling movements like this. It's wonderful. Try it again, and we will move on to our chewing muscles, activating them a bit as well. Our chewing muscles, as I showed, are located near the ear. We find the angle of the facial part of the skull, and it weaves in right here. You will find the cheekbone. Feel for the cheekbones on our cheeks, and it weaves into there. This is its weaving. Let's call it that. What are we going to do now? We place our fingers on the corner of the desired muscle. Yes, here we find that angle. We will slowly open the mouth. At the same time, we will use our fingers to stretch upwards towards the cheekbone. So look, we slowly open the mouth, and I lift my finger and guide it upwards. I will just show it once more again. It is important to use pressing movements with the pads of your fingers. I gently press down on the muscles, squeezing them as much as you are able to, and slowly. And even if you have some slight pain, that's also a little bit good. Now we move on to our part, which involves the depressor muscles that pull the corners of the mouth downwards. We can also locate this muscle. Here it is, right? This muscle here. I find it and try to awaken it from the bony structures as well. Why? When it shortens, it adheres to the bony structures. It is important for us to restore its elasticity so that it is not so straight, but rather wraps around our bony structures, and thus bringing into existence that very volume of natural youth, beauty and elegance and grace. I lift it, trying to feel it out. You can also knead between your fingers and the other side. Great, wonderful. Here we go. Now what can we do? We place our fingers in a lock position at the corners of the mouth.
We are relaxed. We can tilt our head down. We make a lateral movement towards the chewing muscles. I carefully grasp the corners of the mouth, press down gently and pull. I release the head and grasp again. And I pull slowly. Let all your muscles be completely relaxed. Breathe. You can close your eyes. Also, perform this massage technique several times. Next, we move on to find the wing of the nostril, placing 2 fingers right here, sinking into the entire wing of the nose and working on it. This is precisely the area from which our nasolabial fold forms. I also tilt my head forward and press here with the pads of my fingers. I dive in there and make a low vibration movement. I try to feel it out. This is the trigger part. It's right here. We are now focusing on these pain points. These are the points where the attachment is and from where it shortens. It is always very, very painful. I press down and try to dig in. When we locate it and slightly activate it, we begin to make movements with our fingertips, gently pulling away from the nose. Yes, I don't do it on half of the face. I practically do it in place, as if I am flipping my finger from one part to another, and we go along the entire nose like this. Let's proceed. Yes, we move up and down where the wing of the nose is. We make outward movements with our fingers, pads, and fingertips. I also press down quite actively. Great, we have activated it. After this transitional movement, we go along the entire nose, pressing into the eye, pressing down, and moving under the cheekbone. And I just directly pull the area, simply moving everything that I seem to have caught here. Here, I carefully catch and gently move the little one. Once again, we go along the entire length of the nose, making sure to cover every part thoroughly. And I make a sweeping motion towards the ear. Now on the other side, we go along the entire nose. Everything is relaxed. If you can't breathe through your nose, breathe softly through your mouth. And under the cheekbone, I am beneath it. Continuing to press, I will set aside the cushion near the nose. Yes, this is why rolls form near the nose. We have a lot going on there. Flowing, yes, both venous outflow and blood and lymphatic. And that's why we always have this, especially since we spend most of our time upside down. This part, for a large part of the day, accumulates, and all our structures seem to move towards the center. Therefore, it is important to always divert everything and capture as much as possible. Nothing will happen, don't worry. You won't stretch the muscles, and certainly not the skin. On the contrary, your skin will strengthen, acquire a firm state, and the pores on your face will tighten. Great. Now I want to work on your forehead. The forehead is very important to me. It's a brilliantly cool exercise. We recall the bones that we massaged in the chest area. We also take the bones in our hands and start making such massaging, pressing movements. We close our eyes and massage. We also go into the hair area, near the beginning of hair growth. It is a very painful sensation, but it feels really great. You will definitely see the results on your forehead. It will just look amazing and shine from this exercise. There's really no need to come up with anything more here. After this technique, everyone usually feels as if they've had a revelation. Their eyes immediately fill up and become brighter. You can also massage the temple area, but more gently. Wonderful. Why do we always work on the forehead muscles first and then move on to the eyes? Because the brow arches. Structures usually press like this on the eyes, on the circular muscle of the eye. First, we need to work on the forehead, and then we will move on to the circular muscle of the eyes. The temporal area is involved. The temporal area is located in the ultrasound and responsible for the drooping eyelid. 50% is taken up by the chewing muscles and 50% by the temporal muscles, because we are constantly in a tense state
always chewing something or holding back emotions. Therefore, it is very important to also focus on this area to relax. We'll get to the sand later. I'll show you at the very end. So, we go to the brow arches. We lift our eyebrows. What do? We simply use these outward movements, yes, outward, lifting movements, to detach them from the bony structures. No matter how this word detach sounds, it actually sounds like nothing 100% in understanding what is happening. Yes. We massage, then move to another part and do the same thing. Everything is relaxed. Try to relax your eyes, don't strain them. Wonderful now. We will find another trigger point where the eyebrow growth zone begins. We locate this point. It is very painful, right? Where the line of the eyebrow starts. We place our finger there without moving the bony structure, just finding this point and marking it. We tilt our head forward and massage this area. We locate our points. We tilt our head forward and use gentle vibrating movements to find our points. I massage this area, which is responsible for shaping. The transverse fold on the bridge of the nose, it is responsible for this area of our tired eyes. When the circular muscle shortens, a transverse wrinkle forms there. And it is important to work on this point right here and this one. Yes, these are the attachment points of the orbicularis oculi muscle. We also work on the bone as well in our practice. Yes, the eye. Where the eye socket is, we find the bones, the lateral part. I press on it with a low vibration movement. Close your eyes. I work almost in place. I do not make pulling movements. You can use 2 fingers at once. Try it on yourself if that feels a bit more comfortable. We compress these areas. You can simply press, pinch, and breathe through it. For example, your eyes will definitely thank you after such techniques, especially if you work a lot and are focused on something. I can also advise that if you are looking at something closely for a long time, occasionally shift your gaze to the distance. Look, it's literally 10 minutes of work. Then look into the distance, let your eyes rest, and after that you can refocus back on your work, but be sure to remember to do this. So, further into the temporal area. Yes, what she showed is not located right here. What I do is I start with the pads of my fingers, I engage the hair covering, and with lifting movements. I try to capture the skin so that all the tissues move away from the bony structures due to the neurosis. It is also very important to avoid sticking or adhesion, because when we have adhesion, everything there becomes lifeless. There is no life, and circulation and lymph drainage do not occur. Therefore, it is always important for the tissues to separate well from the bony structures. That is why I always say we detach, we peel off, and so on. I pronounce, but this indeed maximally describes the state that needs to be achieved. So we lift, and we can try once more. So you can close your eyes and let's work. You can just go straight from, yes, like those fox-like eyes. Here is the temporal part. It starts from here and goes this way. Like this, we start moving our fingers. And now let's go lift our eyebrows up to reduce puffiness. Once again, I use pressing movements to carefully and gently work the hair covering, the tendinous helmet. I just simply bring my fingers in and work on it like this. You can tilt your head down with your shoulders relaxed. This is an incredibly pleasant exercise. It's very comfortable. You definitely won't harm yourself, your muscles, or anything else with these techniques. On the contrary, the skin, face, and muscles will thank you greatly. Now, let's move on to our eyes. The area around the eyes can be massaged in this way. We engage all the structures. Some people experience swelling under their eyes, as I do in this case, because I have a slender type of aging. I also address all the structures under the eye. We can work with this area. Now I will tell you where we cannot. We pick it up with such grinding movements which are quite compressing. I rub this area, then I also bury my fingers and grasp further, moving on. I do the same rubbing movements where it's not allowed to work near the eyes. Right now I'll show you. Yes, right here, you can feel a very gentle indentation in the skeletal structure, such an indentation. Yes, a vein runs through there specifically. We have a structure that is designed for our treatment and so on. There are special channels and indentations, and in the bony structures, there is such an indentation. I also want to explain why we are working so actively. While I talk, we will do it once more. Why do we do this so actively? The thing is, our bones are also alive, and we need to reach them and massage the bones as well, because with age, there is movement in the bones, and to prevent that, our bones also need care. They need massage and circulation. Therefore, do it actively. And according to the skeletal structure, so we move on to another part. We do the same thing. I lift the skin structures and make a rubbing motion, moving further and doing the same. I do the same thing, gradually moving slowly. Yes, here you can see that in some areas there is more subcutaneous fat, and in others there is less. I also do it with just 2 fingers. It might be convenient for you as well. Try to lift it up and rub it like this. And I pull the temporal area like this, which is located on the side of the head. I lift it quite actively and with a compressing massage technique, which involves applying pressure and moving in circular motions. I move it right along the temple and there, ensuring to cover the entire area. And the other part picked it up, squeezed it. And with this kind of sausage-like motion, I work on the temporal area. After the massage, yes, you may notice that, for example, there might be a slight swelling. It's okay, it will go down, everything will be fine. After the massage, as I also recommend, you can apply some kind of mask. Right now, after the massage itself, I will definitely apply one. Next, I rinse off the mask and apply the rest of my at-home skincare. This includes serum, cream, and so on. Yes, if it's daytime, I apply SPF for sun protection. But in the evening, you can have your own relaxing beauty ritual, taking care of yourself, and unwind. One more time. I'll just place my fingers again and I'll find a few, 2 or 3 more trigger points. Next. This is when I showed that the corner of the mouth intertwines with the circular muscle of the eye. Here it is. The same thing that I do by tilting my head forward. I place my fingers, find it, and with a slight vibrating motion, we massage. We activate the muscles under the eyes to return them to their natural state. By making a gentle and careful lymphatic drainage movement, stretching as much as possible, nothing will happen. Let's do it once more. Close your eyes and gently move down from the nose, wiping our hands, which are not warmed up on the joints. Then we place our hands on our eyes, thanking ourselves for taking this time for self-care and love and appreciation for ourselves and our muscles. They will definitely thank you. Thank you very much for watching, for your attention. Love yourself, take care of yourself, and remember, you are the only one you have. I wish you a wonderful time of day.